Welcome to today's whollyogi flow. I decided to do a flow for tired legs because mine have been pretty fatigued recently, and I figured this would be a nice flow to have up there because I'm not the only athlete out there that experiences that. So this flow is for post leg day, running, anytime when your legs feel real fatigued. This will help flush them out, rejuvenate them, make them feel really good. So all we're gonna need today is one block. And in just a few moments, I'll meet you in a wide leg child pose to begin our practice today. So beginning, come into a wide leg child's pose, hands plant, knees come back, mat width distance, and let those hips rest back towards the heels. Opening up those hips and letting that forehead fall to the mat. With our forehead down, maybe rock side to side, massaging out those sinuses, the third eye area. Letting ourselves sink deeper and deeper into those hips in our wide leg child's pose. And then we'll slowly ripple up, tuck those toes, and press back into a down dog. So here in our down dog, we bend those knees, press those shoulders back, and hips reach up and back to the back of the room where the ceiling and wall meet. We want nice long length from the fingertips all the way up to the hips. And then we'll shift the gaze to the front of the mat, stepping forward, coming to our forward fold. We bend those knees again so that the abdomen meets the thighs, and we feel supported, letting the head, neck, and shoulders go. Maybe nod yes, maybe nod no. Really let that head release, bringing a nice stretch along the whole back side of the body. We'll inhale, half lift. Hands come to the knees or shins so that there's a 90-degree angle at the hips and the shoulders are active and plugged back in to the backside body. Then we'll release down, forward fold again, bend those knees. Find contact between the abdomen and the thighs. Bend those knees more and bring those hands all the way up. And exhale to heart center. We'll inhale, rise those arms up. Exhale, swan dive down. Weight stays in those toes. Inhale, half lift. Plant those palms, step that right foot back. Lower that right knee and untuck those back toes. We'll rise, Anjaneyasana, biceps to ears. Maybe hands come together or they stay apart, depending on how open our shoulders are here. We let gravity pull this right hip forward and down towards the mat. Feeling a nice stretch in the hip area. Then we'll release. Plant those palms, press those back toes down, press the heel away to lift that back knee, and find a nice stretch in the hip, a little different this time, just by settling here, maybe rocking back and forth. And then we'll press into that left foot, straightening that left leg, stretching into both the back of the left leg and the back of the right leg. The back right heel pulls down to the mat to open up the back of that right leg. Let's bend back into that left leg. Coming back to our lunge. And again, straighten that leg, stretching into both. One more time, we bend that knee. And we straighten. And then this time we'll walk over to the right side, coming to a wide leg forward fold, coming center. Let those shoulders fall towards the mat. And again, let the head, neck, shoulders go. Rather than hyperextending those knees here, keep a gentle, slight bend in the knees. It's going to protect the joints and stay grounded underneath those feet. Finding a nice stretch in the back of those legs. From here, we're going to walk right over to frame our right foot on the other side of our mat. And we'll lower that left knee, untuck those back toes, and rise Ajjanasana. Biceps to ears, maybe hands stay apart or float together. Letting gravity pull that left hip down, making sure that right knee is tracking right over that right ankle. From here, reframe that foot, press that left heel back, lifting the leg, and settle here in your lunge for just a moment, working into the hip. And then ground down underneath that right foot, press into that leg, straightening, finding a nice stretch in both legs simultaneously here. Then again, bend into the right leg, find the hip stretch, and then press, finding both legs opening up. And then bend into the right leg. And one more time, straighten into both. This time walking through to the left side, coming into wide leg forward fold. Notice how I pigeon my toes in just slightly, rather than going directly forward to protect those knee joints. So again, let the shoulders, head, neck go. And walk it all the way back around to reframe that left foot where we started. Press those palms down and step that left foot back into a down dog. So maybe feel a little bit more welcome here in our down dog, now that we're a little bit more warmed up. Press those shoulders back. And maybe keep a nice generous bend in those knees if our heels aren't quite meeting that mat yet. From here, we're going to lower those knees. Keep those toes tucked. Press back to sit on those feet, opening up the arches of the feet. And try to find stillness here for a couple breaths. Shoulders draw away from the ears. And then we'll come forward, untuck those toes, and bring those feet right around. Feet straight out, legs straight. And we'll inhale, finding length. And exhale, fold over into a seated forward fold. Notice how I'm finding length and keeping that length as I bend reaching as far as I can before I grab hold of my feet or my ankles, wherever I am, depending on how open my hamstrings are, to anchor myself down and pull myself forward and down rather than just folding right over. Imagine a heartstring pulling from your heart center forward and someone pressing on the middle of your back down so that you're finding length rather than just folding. That breath, inhaling, finds length. Exhaling, finds depth. Good, we'll ripple up from there. Coming to staff pose, hands come by our hips, planted down, fingers spread wide. Press down into those palms. Get nice and long, shoulders draw away from those ears, and tuck those toes back towards the hips, activating the legs. You might feel the heels peel up off of the mat here. And then release. Shift those hips forward slightly, come all the way down to your back, and bring those knees into the chest, circling out, left hand to the left knee, right hand to the right knee, working into those hips. When my legs are tired, I love working into the hips. Such a nice release. It should feel really, really good. So we're going to come into a happy baby. Hands come to the inside of our soles of our feet. We press the soles of the feet into the palm of the hand, forearm and shin. Notice how they're in line here, elbow and knee drawing down towards my armpit area. You're going to notice here the back, the lower back, is going to peel up off of the mat naturally. So we activate the abdomen and draw that lower back down towards the mat. And pull those elbows and knees down towards the armpit area to work into the hips. Maybe take some rocks. And then bring those heels together. Bring those feet down flat, knees bent up. And this is where we're going to grab that block. So we're going to grab that block within arm's width distance. We're going to ground those feet down. Now notice there's going to be a small space beneath the small of your back here. Activate that abdomen, tuck those hips slightly, and notice how that space disappears. And then release that engagement to feel the space come back. We want to activate like that to remove that space and then transfer that grounded feeling from the back into the feet. And that will cause our hips to rise. And we can slip that block underneath the small of our back. Now remember, there are 3 heights here. This height, and this height. You decide which height fits best underneath that space. When you find the height, let those hips rest on the block like placing a plate on a shelf. And release, as if those hips are melting over that block like a blanket melts over a post. The blanket hugs every edge of that post. This is going to open up those hips and should feel nice and supported in that lower back. If it's not quite comfortable, just here and there to where it is, You shouldn't have to hold any tension here. And we'll hold here for 3 to 5 breaths. Following the inhale in and out. Staying with our breath for 3 to 5 rounds. Now feel how grounded your hips are over that block. We're going to transfer that weight into our feet to lift ourselves up off of the block. So slowly engage through the glutes, press into those feet until we can gently release that block and lower down vertebrae by vertebrae all the way to the mat. Back comes down, tailbone last to meet the mat. And from here, hug those knees in. Forehead comes to the knees. And then take your hands behind the calves or hamstrings, wherever is comfortable. And release down. Shoulders and small of the back come back down. From here, inhale, length through the toes. And exhale, gently pull those legs closer. Inhale, length, and exhale. We'll take one more. Inhale, length, and exhale. Bend at those knees. And keep that right knee in with you. Let the left leg come out. We'll tuck that knee close into the chest, pulling it towards the chin, and then slowly straighten that leg, hands coming behind the knee, or anywhere that's comfortable behind that leg, drawing just that right leg up with our inhale, and closer with our exhale. Inhale, length, exhale, depth. Now I like to point and flex my foot here, but that's not necessary movement. If you want to just keep your foot still, that's totally okay. From here, bend into that knee. Take your hand to the inside of that right foot, and we'll take a half happy baby. So that left hand comes out to the left side, grounding us down. We want to keep that left hip glued to the mat. So if that's peeling up like this, work to pull that back down to the mat. And we take half happy baby, working just into that right hip. That left leg stays relaxed out on the mat. And then from here, bend that left leg up, guide that right foot over, coming into a figure 4. That right ankle comes to the top of that left knee. We can press our hand gently, guiding that leg up and away, so that we're not pressing right on that knee joint. And this should open up that right hip. And if this isn't enough, you can pull through those hands behind the leg or top of the shin. You can also bring that block underneath the foot here, and that might be enough here to press that knee, again, up and away. Being careful not to press right on the knee joint. Wherever you are, We'll slowly release. Hug that right knee in again. Release that left foot. Maybe move that block to the side if it's there. And release that leg out. Take a nice full body stretch here. Inhaling, getting as long as you can, and then releasing, bringing that left leg in, tucking that knee into the chest, and then straightening that leg, hands coming to the back of that leg wherever comfortable. And again, inhale length, and exhale, draw that leg closer, up, and closer. The length that we find on our inhale helps us find space to move into the stretch on our exhale. So it's important that we stay linked with our breath in every yoga posture. From here, bend into that left knee. Bring that left hand to the inside of that left foot, coming into half happy baby. Again, that right hip stays grounded on the mat. Right hand comes out to the right side. We press the left hand into the left foot and the left foot into the left hand equally to open into that left hip. Elbow and knee drawing down simultaneously, forearm and shin parallel with each other. From here, bend that right knee. Right foot comes flat on the mat. Guide that left ankle over to the top of that right knee and come into our figure four. Again, some options here. Maybe just guide that leg up and away to open into that left hip. Or reach through, coming behind the leg or on top of the shin. You can also bring that block beneath that right foot. Wherever you are, try to settle those shoulders and head back down to the mat so that we can relax into this posture with our breath. From wherever you are in your figure four, release, come all the way back down. Take that left leg up and over. Feet come flat on the mat. And we'll sway left and right, releasing that lower back. Maybe delaying, maybe pausing somewhere where it feels really good. And then come back up center. Bend those knees in and then straighten them both up. Hands come up, coming into dead bug. So from here, I'm going to have you start shaking, starting with those feet and hands, remembering that I'm the one on film right now. You are in the comfort of your home, no one's watching you. So shake, knowing the more you shake, the better this is going to be. Move that shaking from your feet and hands down to your wrists and ankles and arms and legs. Shake that head. Shake as much as you can, your whole body. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release all the way into Shavasana. Let that energy release with your exhale. Relax into your Shavasana. Take a body scan or two here to download the practice, to feel rejuvenated in those tired legs. And maybe even repeat this sequence as many times as you need. Thanks so much for flowing with me tonight. I hope you enjoyed our little leg flow for tired legs. I know mine feel a little bit better. I hope yours do too. Please like and subscribe and let me know what you think below this video, and let me know what you'd love to see more of. Have a great night, and I'll see you next time.